Well, hello. Finally, the new agent Deadlock is officially introduced by Valorant. And she is a sentinel with deadly traps, concussed, and more. Her E ability is Barrier Mask, a disc that she throws forward. Once it lands, it activates a series of barriers that block character movement but allow projectiles through. Simply put, this barrier will restrict your movements but allow bullets pass through, and obviously you can break it one by one or directly the core of the barrier, which will completely remove the barrier. It takes a lot of bullets, by the way. The next ability is kind of new and interesting. Sonic Sensor is a Q, and it's the most unique ability we have ever seen. Fired at a wall and it disappears until an enemy in range makes significant noise. Sonic Sensor then detonates, concussing everything in its radius. Her next ability is like a net trap, which looks. Her C ability is the Gravenet Grenade, which can be thrown or underhand lobbed. Detonating on landing, any enemies caught in its radius are forced to crouch and move slowly. This is how it looks from enemy point of view, and you can obviously remove it holding F. Now finally to her ult. I will argue her ultimate is visually very appealing. It looks great. I really want to see the enemy point of view.
No escape.
Annihilation.
Fired forward, a pulse of nanowires captures the first enemy it touches and begins to drag them back along its path. Fully cocooned, that player will be instantly killed if they get pulled to the end. The cocoon is destructible, but you will need to rely on your teammates to save you. And lastly, her looks. She kind of looks like Fade with white hair and very Killjoy-like dressing sense. And you will notice one of her arms is actually not real. And it has a story behind. In this cinematic reveal, we see Deadlock along with some other companions go on a mission. It is some sort of abandoned lab where they mention about bears.
Yeah. I just don't like rats.
How do you feel about bears?
Later on, we see a bear who is not so much of a bear with some sort of aura. Seeing the bear, Deadlock does the most obvious thing.
Run.
There we see her use her abilities, and to my surprise, they are not so strong to hold the bear. And in the process, we see the same aura on her once the bear bites her arm. To save herself, she loses her arm, blowing up the bear completely.
Du är tillintetgjort!
The white flame looks sick, by the way. I mean, so cool.
Måtte ilden bränna andra städer.
And later on, we see her get a new arm by none other than our Killjoy. Of course.
Capacity?
Yes, it is exactly to your specifications.
Perfect.
You two really need to get along.
You don't know what they're capable of. When do we leave?